Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna, we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation. Chapter number 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text number 1. Sutta uvacha jagre paurusham rupam bhagavan mahad adibihi sambhutam shodasha kalam adav loka shishrakshaya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Sutta said, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first, there was a creation of the 16 principles of material action. This was for the purpose of creating the material universes. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for joining. And today we are going to learn about some of the incarnations of Krishna. See, the incarnations are unlimited. So it is not possible to list all the incarnations of Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam because they are unlimited. But we will learn of few of them and we will understand what is the science behind these divine incarnations. So Sutta Goswami is saying that beginning of creation, Krishna expanded in his universal form of Purusha incarnation. And the purpose was so that the ingredients are manifested for this material creation. So from this we can understand that creation takes place by the help of Krishna. It is not a Big Bang theory or, a big hole or anything. No. First, of course, we learned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 11 about the universal form of Krishna, right? It is not possible for us to see that universal form with our material eyes or even perceive with the little intelligence we have. But with the help of Bhakti Yoga, we can spiritualize our eyes. You see, then we can perceive if we perform pure devotional service. That is a requisite. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma explains about the spiritualization of the eyes. He says, Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Yam shama sundaram achinta gunaswarupam govindam adi purusham tam aham bhajami. He says, when the eyes are anointed with love. So, like ladies put kajal in their eyes, the black thing in their eyes. So if we put that of love, when we anoint our eyes with love for Krishna, that is when our eyes will become spiritualized and we will be able to see and perceive the Supreme Lord. So in this chapter, in the beginning, Sutta Goswami is explaining to the sages that there are 3 Purusha incarnations, features, not incarnations, but features in this whole material creation. And the very first is expansion called Mahavishnu or Karonodakshay Vishnu. And the next one is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and the next one is Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So how does the creation take place? He explains that Mahavishnu, he's lying down, and from the pores of his body, all the universes are created. Imagine from the pores the universes are generated. And this Mahavishnu, he enters into each universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into the heart of each living entity as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, whom we call the Paramatma or the Super Soul. So this is how the expansions take place. So these are the three Purusha features in material creation. Now, part of the spiritual sky is called Mahat Tattva, within which there are innumerable universes. Now, after hearing all these technical details, we may feel a little confused, and we may have a lot of questions, but the bottom line to understand is the greatness of Krishna, to understand that he is the supreme personality of Godhead and everything emanates from him. But other minor details is not so very important. This all knowledge is there so we can understand how does the creation take place. You see, who is involved in this creation, and we can see right from the very beginning, it is Krishna who starts expanding. So after entering in each universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then when he entered, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu saw that there is darkness, uh, there's darkness everywhere. So he filled half of the universe with water of his own perspiration. Can you imagine? His own perspiration. And that water is called Garbhodaka ocean. That's why he's called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Now he lies down, and from his navel comes out a lotus stem. And on top of that lotus stem, Lord Brahma becomes manifest. You see, so Brahma is not created with the meeting of a man or a woman. No, he manifests from that lotus stem. And within that lotus stem that comes out of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's navel are 14 planetary systems. And the topmost is Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. In the middle is the earth planet where we are. Okay? And below the earth are 7 other planetary systems. Now, this Lord Brahma, after he's manifested, after some time, from him comes Lord Shiva. So, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they are incarnations of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. That is for this creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe. You see? And from Brahma, many demigods get incarnated. So the plenary portion of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, that is situated in the heart of every living entity. Now, there are different incarnations of the Lord. They are also called avatar. Avatar means one who descends. So, the Supreme Lord, he descends for specific purpose, not just randomly. There's a reason. He comes to protect his devotees. He comes to destroy the miscreants, annihilate them. He comes to reestablish principles of religion, you see. And there are different incarnations are for different purpose. Like there are Leela incarnations, Leela avatar, there is Guna avatar, Yuga avatar, Purusha avatar, Manvantara avatar, there is Shaktavesha avatar, the empowered ones. So the Leela avatars or Leela incarnations are basically so Krishna can perform some pastimes. Guna avatars are considered to be Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Purusha avatars are there for cosmic creation. Yuga avatars are those that come in a particular yuga or age for a particular purpose. And Shaktavesha avatars are those that are empowered by the Lord. Empowered. So they come down because they are sent by the Lord and they are empowered by the Lord. So all these incarnations, they are mentioned in the scriptures. But the fountainhead of all these is Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Now, as I mentioned, only a few major incarnations are mentioned in this chapter, and this is just an introduction to them. But when we continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we will hear specific pastime of these incarnations as we go along. So today we are only going to talk a little bit about these major incarnations. So first of all, the four Kumaras. They are the sons of Brahma. Then comes Varahadev, the boar incarnation, who came to deliver the earth, to remove the earth from the ocean and bring it out. Then is Narad Muni, the great sage. He is considered to be a Shaktya Vesha avatar, that means an empowered incarnation. And the reason he came was to propagate pure devotional service to Krishna all over the universe, all different universes. And Vyasadeva, who wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam, is his disciple. In fact, Narad Muni, he has written Narada Pancharatra, which teaches us what exactly is devotional service to Krishna. Then the next incarnation is Nara Narayan. Who are they? They are the twin sons of King Dharma. Narayana, of course, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna himself, and Nara is the part of Narayana. So it is considered that Nara and Narayana are like Arjuna and Krishna. They came to deliver humanity. Then is Kapila Muni, a very empowered incarnation of Vishnu, and he came to teach the analytical study of spiritual self with the help of devotion. Then came Dattatreya. He is the son of Atri and Anasuya, and he is considered to be a Guna avatar. In fact, the mother Anasuya, she prayed to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva that they combine themselves, all three of them, and they appear as her son. And that is what they did. They came as Dattatreya to teach the philosophy of the soul, so that people can understand the difference between body and soul. Then came Yagna. Yagna is a Leela avatar, and he came to teach the importance of fire sacrifice. Then the Supreme Lord appeared as Rishabdev. That is also a Leela avatar. He was the son of Nabhi and Meru Devi. And he came just to teach us how to perform austerity, which is very, very essential in this, especially in Kali Yuga, for human beings, austerity, and how to do self-control, you see. And he showed the path of liberation, the path of perfection, how to achieve that path. Then came Prithu Maharaj, another empowered incarnation of the Lord. And he basically came to establish, agriculture, civilization, protecting the earth, etc. Then the next avatar was Matsya. That's a fish incarnation of the Lord. One may imagine, the Lord can come as a fish too. Yes, he came as a boar, he came as a fish, so many different incarnations. But the purpose of this Matsya avatar was basically to protect all the Vedas, which were getting destroyed. Then he came as Kurma, a tortoise, to support the Mandara mountain on his back, because the demigods and demons wanted to churn the ocean to take out the nectar. And while churning that ocean, at that time, another incarnation came out, that was Dhanvantari, who's considered to be a Shaktya Vesha avatar, which means an empowered incarnation. And he is considered to be a divine physician because he came with all different medicines. Then came Mohini avatar. Now, see, when Dhanvantari came out of the churning of the ocean, he came with a pot of nectar. Now, anyone who drank that nectar would become immortal. So, Even the demons wanted, besides the demigods, even the demons wanted that nectar. So Krishna had to appear as Mohini, a very, very, very beautiful incarnation, such a beautiful lady that was able to distract the demons from drinking this pot of nectar. We'll learn more about this in Srimad Bhagavatam as we continue our study. Then Krishna came as Lord Nrsimhadev, a very powerful incarnation. He came to protect his beloved devotee Prahlad Maharaj. Then Krishna came as Vamanadev, a dwarf. He came in the form of a dwarf, Brahmana, to restore the power back to the demigods, which were taken away by Bali Maharaj, a demon. Then Krishna came as Parashuram. You all probably have heard these names before, but in Srimad Bhagavatam, as we continue our study, we will learn more about these incarnations. So Parashuram, he came to rid the earth of all kings that were very corrupt. And then appeared Vyasadeva. He's also an empowered incarnation of Krishna. And he was sent so that he could basically divide the Vedas into four. There was just one, and then he divided into four, and then he gave the summary of the Vedas into Srimad Bhagavatam. Then came Lord Ramachandra. We all have heard about Lord Ramachandra in Ramayana. Why did he come? He came to show us how to be an ideal king, how to be an ideal husband, an ideal son, an ideal brother. And this was the reason he came, just like an ordinary human being, to show how to live human life in an ideal way. Then the first expansion of Krishna came as Balaram. He is actually considered to be the second body. There's no difference between Krishna and Balaram. And then appeared Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Many times people think Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu. But the Srimad Bhagavatam clearly states when Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, he came in his original form. He's not an incarnation. And after that came Lord Buddha. He came about 2,600 years ago, I think. And the reason Krishna came as Lord Buddha was to stop the misuse of Vedas. People by then had started misusing the knowledge from the Vedas. They were performing rituals and, animal sacrifice, etc., saying, hey, this listed in the Vedas, so we are doing it. So Lord Buddha came to wean them away from the Vedas, to stop them from misusing the knowledge from the Vedas, you see. Now, it's important to understand Lord Buddha came 2,600 years ago, but Srimad Bhagavatam was given 5,000 years ago. That means 5,000 years ago it was already listed in Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna would appear as Lord Buddha. That is the authenticity of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should not take Srimad Bhagavatam very lightly. It's an Amala Puran. It is a spotless Puran. It is the nectar. It is the essence of all the Vedic literature. So that means the appearance of Lord Buddha was already foretold. Similarly, the next incarnation of the Lord is going to be after 427,000 years from now. And that incarnation will be Kalki. That is also foretold in the Srimad Bhagavatam already. You see, already. And not only the name of the incarnation, the purpose also is given, that the reason is that he is going to put an end. He's going to destroy evil, corruption, everything, and he will restore Satya Yuga. That will be the purpose of Kalki. And he'll come at the end of Kali Yuga, which is, as I mentioned, 427,000 years from now. And guess what? The Srimad Bhagavatam has already foretold the name of his father. the name of the village where he's going to appear, name of his father Vishnu Yasha in the village called Shambhala. That is how precise Srimad Bhagavatam is. So this is the accuracy of Vedic literature, and it is bona fide because it's coming down in strict parampara, disciplic succession. So, as I mentioned earlier, Krishna's incarnations are innumerable. It is mentioned in this chapter. Sutta Goswami says that it is like, small streams, they are flowing from inexhaustible sources of water. So much, you cannot even count. You cannot even count the waves. Similarly, the Lord's incarnations are innumerable. So, as I mentioned, this is not a complete list of incarnations, it's only partial. But verse number 28 in this chapter gives us another reference that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. It says, Ete chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That all incarnations are plenary portions of Krishna, but Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original. So that means from Krishna, the original, which is the original source, comes different incarnations. Balram, Vishnu expansions, avatars, incarnations, everything. Everything comes from Krishna. And we learned this in Bhagavad Gita also, chapter 10, where Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me, whether it is planets, people, human beings, living entities, demigods. He says, all they come out from me. Now, with material senses, material eyes, we cannot see or understand Krishna. That's not possible. So, for us in Kali Yuga, the best way to understand is through the ears. When we hear about the Lord, when we hear about his incarnations, about his pastimes, then through the ears we will be able to understand. And for that, Krishna has already given us Bhagavad Gita, which is the basic study of spirituality. And what do we learn the first thing in Bhagavad Gita? We are not this body, but we are the spirit soul. So when one understands the difference between gross body, subtle body, difference between body and the soul, then a person starts becoming self-realized. You see? So, the main teachings of this particular chapter number 3 of Canto 1 is the power of hearing. Very, very important. That is what we do on Sundays. We hear from Bhagavad Gita, from Srimad Bhagavatam. And what do we hear? We hear about the Lord and his incarnations and his pastimes. And when we keep hearing about Krishna, then our hearts get purified. And then gradually the devotion develops and all the miseries of the lives, they get destroyed. See, it is mentioned that Srila Prabhupada says that by hearing about Krishna, we can destroy our misfortune. Because our heart gets cleansed, devotion awakens, and we understand what is right, what is wrong. We understand the purpose of human form of life, and that helps us to really destroy our misfortune. You see, Bhakti Yoga is not something sentimental. No, it is the soul's natural function to love. And the natural function of this love of human beings is for Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So when we hear, then we are able to progress on the path of self-realization. So this chapter, it is basically establishing that Krishna is the supreme source. It introduces us to the science of these divine incarnations. It emphasizes that bhakti is the supreme path. And because we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, it helps us to develop, or in fact, it encourages us to chant and hear about Krishna more and more. Towards the end of this chapter, Sutta Goswami says that those who recite the appearance of Lord Krishna with devotion in the morning and in the evening, about these incarnations, they get relief from miseries of life. That is the benefit of hearing about the incarnations of Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained to us, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti suarjuna. Krishna tells Arjuna that anyone who understands the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not take birth in this material world after death. That means a person attains a spiritual body and goes back to the spiritual world. That is how powerful it is. You see, there is liberation. No more coming back into this material world where there is birth, disease, old age, and death. And for that, to be able to reach that state of consciousness where we are able to understand the transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance and activities, that is possible when we perform devotional service, when we follow the rules laid down by the Lord Himself. And it begins with mantra meditation. We chant every day, just like we eat every day, we sleep every day, we work every day, we do so many things every day. Similarly, we need to chant every day. What? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the first step, which is called meditating on this Maha Mantra that can help us to purify our hearts. So when Krishna sees our sincere endeavor to chant, sincere endeavor to learn Srimad Bhagavatam, then He bestows His mercy. And when we get His mercy, that is when we will become enlightened and understand Srimad Bhagavatam and become self-realized. You see, Krishna's incarnations, His activities, His pastimes, they are all spotless. Why? Because He's a master of six senses. He's a master of six opulences. Aishwarasya samagrasya virasya yashashriya. He is full in six opulences. He's a creator, He's a maintainer, He's an annihilator, He's the one who is the cause of the creation. You see, it's not possible to understand all this, even theoretically. Because there are so many incarnations, there are so many pastimes. So, for us to be able to understand, we need to perform pure devotional service that starts with chanting every day. And Sutta Goswami mentions that only by unreserved, uninterrupted, favorable service to Krishna, one can know Krishna in full glory and power. Which means that only pure devotees can know Krishna. Why? Because they are free of all reactions. There's no more karma. They are only interested in performing unalloyed, loving devotional service to Krishna. So here Sutta Goswami is telling the sages at the forest of Naimisharanya that only by inquiring one becomes successful, because inquiries invoke love for Krishna. It guarantees no more repetition of birth and death in this material world. So Sutta Goswami is praising the sages because they inquired. You see, even Srila Prabhupada says Bhakti is not based on blind faith. It is based on knowledge. It is based on removal of all our doubts that we may have. You see? So, Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the literary incarnation of Krishna. It is compiled by Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of Krishna himself. And what is the purpose? For the ultimate good of all people. Sutta Goswami says Srimad Bhagavatam is all blissful, it's all perfect. And the book Srimad Bhagavatam is worshipped as good as Krishna. because there's no difference between Krishna and his holy name. In fact, it is considered, Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen after Krishna departed for his own abode. See, when Dwapar Yuga ended, Kali Yuga began, Krishna left this earthly planet and he went back to his abode. You see? So those people who have, you can say, lost their vision because of darkness of ignorance, right? They can get the light from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is an Amala Purana. So those who can see Srimad Bhagavatam can also see Krishna. Now that doesn't mean physically see Srimad Bhagavatam. That we can see, it's behind there, right? Those books, they are Srimad Bhagavatam. That means we can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna, they are identical. So, Suta Goswami says that when Shukadev Goswami recited Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, he said, I was there and I'm confirming that I heard Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention. That's the qualification of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, rapt attention. And when Krishna sees a devotee hearing Bhagavatam with rapt attention, he bestows his mercy. And this is what Suta Goswami said, that Krishna bestowed his mercy, on Shukadev Goswami. And by the mercy of Shukadev Goswami, I have learned Srimad Bhagavatam. This is what Suta Goswami is saying. So now he says, I shall try to make you hear the same knowledge. This is the beauty of parampara. The bona fide disciplic succession gives knowledge as it is without any change. The authenticity of the data is maintained. So here Sutta is saying, I am going to give you that same knowledge. Whatever I have heard, I'm going to give you whatever I have learned, whatever I have realized from Shukadev Goswami, I'm going to give it to you. That's the importance of hearing from parampara. And when he said, I heard it with rapt attention, it is not possible to give rapt attention if one is not pure in mind and actions. If one's activities are not regulated, like eating, sleeping, etc., if they are not regulated, it is not possible to give rapt attention to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So, for us to really lead a regulated life, the first step, I'm sure you all know, I have repeated in every class. The first step is mantra meditation, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. That is the way. So today's chapter we learned Krishna is a source of all incarnations, and these are all divine incarnations. So I'm going to end the class now. If anyone has any questions or comments,